There once was a hare, and a hare is a type of rabbit, but with longer ears and much, much faster. This hare believed that he wasn't only just faster than rabbits, but he was faster than all of the animals. He loved to run, and he loved to show off how fast he was. And even though he was fast, he wasn't very nice about it. One day he ran past a tortoise, and he laughed as he ran circles around him. A tortoise is like a turtle, only turtles live in water and tortoises live on land, but they are both very slow when they are walking. And they like to be slow because they get to take their time and look at all of the beauty. The hare was laughing at how slow the tortoise was going, and even though the hare was very, very fast, he was not very kind. He would laugh at the tortoise and say, "I bet it takes you all day just to cross the street. Do you even get where you need to be going, or do you give up trying because it takes too long?" The tortoise was very patient with the hare, and he said, "I am very slow, and I like to take my time. And I can actually get to places a lot faster than you might think. Then let's have a race. I bet I can run circles around you before you could ever win." So all of the forest animals gathered to watch this race against the super fast hare and the very slow and patient tortoise. And as soon as the race started, the hare took off and left the tortoise in the dust. And he began to run as fast as he could. And then the rabbit stopped and thought, "Why am I running so fast? This tortoise could never catch up to me. I'm the fastest animal ever, and he is so slow. I bet I could run this race 10 times before that tortoise even finishes. In fact, I bet I could even take a nap, and he wouldn't even be close to the finish line." And so the hare laid himself on the side of the tracks and began to fall asleep, thinking that the tortoise was so slow that he could never catch up. But the hare shouldn't have thought so little about the tortoise and so highly about himself. Not long after the hare fell asleep, the tortoise passed him in the race, still taking his sweet, sweet time and enjoying every moment. By the time the hare woke up, the tortoise had won the race, and all of the forest animals were celebrating. And that was the day that a slow tortoise had won a race against the hare. The next story is about a sea turtle and a raven. A long, long time ago, there were no people on the earth, and there was no dirt. The earth was just a big bowl of water in the sky, and so there was only water animals and there were only sky animals. And all of the birds lived in the clouds, where they slept and they sang and they loved each other and they looked down at the beautiful water. One day a raven was sleeping on its cloud, and while it was dreaming, it rolled off of the cloud and fell into the water below. The raven called for help. "Help! Help! I can't fly when my wings are wet. Can somebody help me?" All of the sea creatures gathered around to help the young raven, but they all lived in the sea, and so they were always wet. They didn't know how they could help the raven dry off. And then the dolphin said, "Raven, how about you stand on my back? You can stand on my back until you get dry." And so the raven tried to get on the back of the dolphin, but the dolphin was so round and slippery that every time it tried to stand up, it would fall right back down into the water. And then the octopus came by and said, "I know you can't swim, Raven, but there is sand at the bottom of the ocean where I live. Maybe I can bring some up for you." And then a giant sea turtle swam over. And this sea turtle was over 200 years old, and it never stopped growing, so it was huge. He said, "My back is too slippery for you to stand on. but maybe you can put all of the sand from the bottom of the ocean on top of my back so that you can climb on and dry off." So all of the sea creatures followed the giant turtle to the bottom of the ocean so that they can help him bring back sand for the raven. And when they got to the bottom of the ocean, everybody helped gather sand from the ground and put it on top of the turtle's back. They collected so much sand from the earth that all of his friends and all of the sea creatures had to help the turtle swim back up from the bottom of the ocean because his back was so heavy and so big now. And when he got back up to the raven, he came out of the water with the earth on his back. And the raven was able to climb up and dry off and then fly back home to the other birds. Now the raven and all of the birds can visit and say thank you to all of the sea animals, because now, thanks to their friends, they have islands to land on. And that's the story of how the sea turtle came out of the water with the earth on its back.